How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to PowerWash Simulator. I was gonna be doing a bit of a calm stream today. I'm feeling very tired, as always, so I wanted to put on some classical music. Unfortunately, the classical music was putting me to sleep, so I've got slightly more upbeat music in the hopes that I will not fall asleep on stream. But after the last session of this, we finished the double-decker house. So let's move on to the next house. As always, going to be a very calm stream. I'll try to manage the music volume and content as much as possible. As much as I would like to listen to the classical, I do need to try and wake up a little bit. Let's clean this boot. I saw you move. Don't pretend you didn't. I also see your friend over there. I'm not crazy. I did see that move. So what do we got? We are surrounded by gnomes. Come on, you motherfucker. We've got some lovely 2D trees. Right, you're all going... I've got my eye on you. You're all going in... naughty area back here. Should not be facing me when I turn around. Oh, it's got that. Shields. It'd be kind of nice if they had extra objectives to do besides just the cleaning, like just tidying things, putting things away. Quite like to know what that sign says, and that one. Why is this trying to be a horror game? Sounds and shit in my ear. Okay, that's quite loud. Turn down my headset, and I'm going to turn down the volume on OBS. A little bit more than that. That's probably fine. Swear to God, I'm hearing moaning and shit behind me. You know what? I'm not feeling this right now. I'm gonna go back to the classical. Yeah, that's nice and refined. What better music to wash a boot to? And a giant boot at that. Practically SpongeBob-esque. Whenever it doesn't take me very long to set up the stream, I always wonder that I'm doing something wrong. That I've forgotten some vital component. That I'm muted or... or that something's not capturing. If you're curious, the thing behind me is just like the stance meter, just says whether I'm crouching or prone. You don't really need to see it. I'm feeling quite paranoid about that after I had Hoppit effectively muted for the first 17 minutes of the last co-op stream we did. A very stupid mistake. Unfortunately, OBS was set to capture the .exe only, and for some reason Discord, rather than being discord.exe, is specific to the name of the person you're talking to. So in his case it was, you know, discord.exe Hoppit, or, you know, whatever. And it was set to flows. So because I wasn't talking to Flo, it didn't pick it up. And for some reason I just didn't look at his microphone input until 17 minutes in. Very silly mistake. What it's now set up... Oh yeah, I don't have any... oh no, I did. But that's not wood, is it? That's... well, that's wood. But, yeah, now it's set up to be... well, originally it was set up to be capture the executable and match the title. Now it's not matching the title, so it should automatically pick up anyone on Discord. So I shouldn't have to think about it again, but that doesn't mean I'm not feeling paranoid about making more mistakes like that. I'm grateful that I caught it relatively soon, considering a lot of that... God, this is some really terrible 2D skybox stuff. Most of that 17 minutes was in the space station hub. So I didn't miss out on too much actual gameplay though. Did miss out on a lot of talking. I'm also very paranoid about whether I've actually properly updated the Twitch title and game. So I do it, and I swear I save. But there isn't actually any visible thing besides the information input that I can check on OBS. Just kind of paranoid that I haven't clicked the button or something. Hmm. Excuse me. I suppose chat's kind of covering in-game chat. Don't think it really matters. We're not really here for the lore. Let me just mute the radio for a second. I don't think this was supposed to be actively used. Oops. So I feel like the game is kind of going for a horror, like intentionally horror feel this level. Oops, for some reason. See if we can get anything in the shop. $2,000. The skin's only for the base. No. What's the name of the one I have? Vista Prime, Urban 2, Prime Vista. It's kind of strange that these skins are per base model, since you linearly progress them. So some of these you just never use because there's no reason to go back to the base model. Yeah, I have everything that I can buy at the moment. Although I don't have this one. Is that not it? I mean, there's literally nothing I can buy anyway, but... very strange. Hi, Thomas. No, this is definitely a classic. Haunted as well. How are you doing today? see how we get up there then. Yeah, so the thing about children texting is that they're not going to text the way they speak. Now, what? Now, it might be badly spelt. I don't think a child the age that this is probably supposed to be would ever write, type, wanna. Wouldn't know how to spell yogurt. Doesn't know how to spell yogurt the second time, but did it the first time. Oh, wow, she's doing pretty well for a cat, 17. My first cats died when they were 18, which is pretty good for a cat. So, I'm glad those issues have improved, at least. You were expecting to look out there and see Bigfoot. See you. Great. Speak of the devil. God, I hate that sound when it goes all sloshy. I wonder if I can put the ladder across from there and just walk across it. Oh, sounds like a good cat. Yeah, life definitely hasn't been the same after I lost my cat. Which, I don't know how old I was exactly when we got our cats. First cats. It's probably like, I don't know, 1 or 2. Did I not clean this? I swear this house is getting dirty after I clean it. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once. Put me in a rubber room. Rubber room with rats. Rats make me crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once. They put me in a room. A rubber room. Rubber room with rats. Rats make me crazy. Yeah, we have another cat now. She was a rescue, so abused by kids. It's really nice to see how much she's improved over time. Become a lot more confident. Not completely, but massive change from when we got her. purpose. Let's get some more soap. Yeah, one of the things I love the most about cats is the immediate feedback that you get from purring or whatever. You know if you're doing something right and how happy a cat is. Just from the way it holds its tail or runs over to see you. I suppose it's pretty much the same as a dog in a lot of ways, with how they show happiness. A dog. That's probably why we gravitated towards them as a society. With a dog wagging its tail and a cat purring. You know, an animal enjoying its time with you is a lot easier to understand than humans, and somewhat more rewarding as well. Short term at least. But yeah, it's a great way of not feeling alone. Whether you're actively looking after one with buying it food, feeding it, cleaning out its litter tray, or whether you're just showing it affection, giving it the best life it can have. It's a good way to ground yourself. Yeah. It's a lot more black and white with pets. They won't lie to you and they won't expect you to lie. You just get what you put into it. Yeah, you get used to it. You can try putting it in your mouth. I've found that helps. Obviously, I've never had fingers, so I didn't have to adjust, but yeah, the mouth is definitely the way I go. Given this layout, I can just move the chat up just a little bit, so I'm not covering it. I mean, really, you can try any hole, but I wouldn't particularly recommend using your ear. Nose might work, as long as you don't sneeze. It's crazy how long NHS GP wait times are for appointments. There used to be a time when you could basically see them next week, but now it takes a full month from booking the appointment to actually seeing them. And you're not allowed to start booking them until, like, okay, I'm not crazy. I definitely heard someone say something. Fucking Sadako out here or something. Yeah, I think you'd need a diamond tablet or something if you're going to go touchscreen. But problem with the hooves is they don't transmit, depending on what type of touchscreen it is, either electrical or heat. So, kind of boned. I just stick to the pen. Yeah, I don't really understand what's going on with the NHS, because every time I've been in the surgery waiting room, it's always empty. And like, there's maybe 2 GPs on call, if that. So it's not like they're too busy, it's just that, I don't know, no one's there. It's like they see 50 people a day, and that's it. Maybe 50 is a bit too high. I don't think I'm doing the maths right on that one. Also, what children's play boot house has like double glazed windows on a balcony? Also, at my GP, you're not even allowed to phone up to make appointments anymore. You have to do it all online. God, the online safety stuff. I mean, what's the Online Safety Act even done besides force everyone to choose what cookies they want every time they visit a website? All it's done is get us blocked from international websites. Ooh, this is very strange. This looks like a fisheye lens when I look down at the roof, because it's curved. Very strange. This is also multi-purpose. Yeah, back in the 2000s, the fisheye lens was pretty popular, especially with Jamiroquai. Hey there, Mint. How you doing? The second Power Dunk stream. Hope you're well. What have you been up to today? You're just ranting about the NHS at the moment. But yeah, I think usually these days, whenever you see the fisheye lens... Do you see that? I swear I saw something move between those two trees. This level's trolling me. Ooh, work. What do you do if that's not too personal? Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to pay for a VPN or anything. I don't particularly trust the free ones. Ooh, sounds interesting. I hope you actually get bathrooms and not just a bottle. Yeah, politics just seems to be an absolute mess everywhere right now. It started with the Brexit and it's just gone downhill from there. Is this gravel? I guess maybe it's wood chips. It looks more like gravel though. This would definitely hurt for a children's playground. Yeah, I can't imagine they're exactly 5-star bathrooms at the best of times. As someone that would love to make money from Twitch, fuck Jeff Bezos. If that gets me permanently demonetized, I'll take that hit. Yeah, I've heard some pretty bad things about some of the VPNs. I don't remember specifically which ones they were, but it was the big ones like Nord and whatever. That they were owned by like a Saudi multinational company. Something blood money. So I don't know, I've just not bothered to look into it and just put up with it, which sucks. But I did have Tor on my old PC, which I've not reinstalled, so I might do that, but unfortunately Tor is extremely slow just by nature. What am I missing? Hmm. get quite hot in here for some reason. It's supposed to get cooler in the afternoon. Could turn on the fan, but I'm a little concerned that the voice noise suppression thingy will up its lower limit if I do that. Bigfoot wearing shoes? So yeah, I'm suffering for the stream. Better appreciate this. Literally sweating for Twitch. What's left? Got all these tiny little bits. Plus sometimes it's hard to tell when something's a shadow. Get off. Oh. I think that's just the light. I think the boot is the only thing I need to clean. I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, weather's getting pretty strange. Global warming definitely isn't real, though. Better listen to the coal companies. Still not down to the last 3. Yeah, it's cold, therefore global warming isn't real. It's logic right there. A well-informed opinion. This level seems a lot more finicky than the previous ones for clearing up all the scraps. Let's see what this says. Boot walls, eyelets, frames, trims. I mean, that could be pretty much anywhere. Okay. Fortunately, these things must be hiding at a uncommon angle, which is why I'm not seeing them on the radar. Boot wall, wooden trim. So wooden trims could be any of these vertical or horizontal lines. Boot walls could be any of the yellow. Problem is I can't see anything on the radar. Yeah. I think things would be a lot calmer if cats were in control. Where's this? Where are these last pieces? Starting to fall asleep again, so I might have to switch up the radio. Oh yeah, that's what we need, sinister music. Problem is, I think I can get away with playing instrumental stuff on Twitch. I'm not sure if Twitch's content ID stuff, whether that works during the stream or whether that only applies to the VOD. Because if it only applies to the VOD, then I can play anything, but if it applies to the stream as it's going, then I'm pretty sure anything with lyrics would set it off. I swear I did that one so many times. Okay, one more wooden trim, so likely culprit will be these ones behind the planters. Okay. One of these yellow patches isn't clean. Oof, finally. Kind of strange that the scaffolding isn't there on the time-lapse. Maybe I was the ghost all along. Ooh. Ooh, yes, I think another car would be quite refreshing. Yeah, that was, that comment was, God, that was a long time ago. It's probably about a year ago by now. Haven't seen them since, so obviously I wasn't giving the back scratching content they desired. Roger from Sister Sister. Who was Roger? It's been so long since I watched Sister Sister. The only male character I can think of is the dad. They're immune to physics. Is this the house that I washed? Yeah. I'd recognise those cock-free walls anywhere. Yeah, there seems to be at least one gnome in each level. I've got my eye on them and they've got their eyes on me. Ah yes, I'm going to power wash this rust off the car. That's definitely how that works. Everyone know that Donkey shot first. Anyone that tells you otherwise is a revisionist. We're purists here, no special editions. See, subtleties for rubes. What you want is to make sure everyone knows exactly what's going on, and if they don't, just in case, just times everything by 10. Of course, now it would be AI. Imagine what Lucas would have done if he'd existed in the era of AI and wanted to do his special editions. Can you imagine the horror? Yeah, we started on 4. This is 1. The next one will be 5. The one after that will be 7. And then 2. I think once I finish this game, I'll probably move on to, well, I should probably move on to the medieval castle builder that I already installed and tried to do a stream on before it went tits up. But then after that, I'll move on to House Flipper, I think, for the that hit of cleaning. Yeah, you can never have too many power washers. Hello there. General Donkey. I can see it now. I'll add it to the deluxe edition release. Now with 3 extra seconds of footage and 4 additional lines of dialogue. Full price, please. It's a good thing that there's paint underneath this rust. Rust being famously on top of everything else, of course. It's a good thing that my power washer is just strong enough to get the rust off, but not too strong to blow the paint off as well. Truly a master of my art. I realise I missed an entire wheel. I want to tell if this is dirty or not. It's a good thing I've got this UV light. Quite hard to get all the blood and cum off otherwise. Yeah, one down, but there's always 2 more to take its place. Forza 6 is the latest one with 120 quid's worth of DLC day one. Released by now, which is maybe a week. Anyway, kids these days are spending all their money on Fortnite. Too busy getting scammed to get scammed. No, not really. I kind of gave up on looking forward to things quite a while ago. To be honest, I don't really pay that much attention to gaming news that isn't either current or dramatic. What's coming out? Also, I don't have any modern consoles, so that kind of takes a chunk out of that. And like, I don't care about Grand Theft Auto 6, 5, 6, 6, I think. I'm interested to see what they do with the new Fable, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. I have a feeling it's not going to be anything like old Fable, and probably just trash, in the same way that the new Saints Row was trash. Like, these games have the same names, but when they're made by different companies with completely different design philosophies and senses of humour and all that kind of stuff, it's basically completely unrelated. Personally, I never had an issue with Peter Molyneux. You know, I think it's admirable that he dreamed big, even if he couldn't live up to it, but I would never have considered the things that he said to be kind of like false advertising or anything like that. Unfortunately, the games he makes now are shit, but, you know, there you go. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Fable. Love that series, love the style. What else is coming out? Definitely going to get Black and White 2 this year. No, that's going to be shit as well, even if it does come out within the next 50 years. What is coming out? Is there anything you're looking forward to? That's fucking crazy. No. I mean, I'm very cheap because, like, I don't have an income, so I kind of have to be, but also, for me, things have an intrinsic value, regardless of what the RRP is. So, like, there's no way in hell I pay 60, 50 for a game. A very good video game that I want to play, I might spend up to 20. Other than that, you know, 5 and less on sale. There's no way that GTA 6 is going to live up to the hype. And even if it's the best game that was ever made, people aren't going to give a fuck after 2-3 months. It's going to be as well remembered as Mass Effect 3. Well, maybe not Mass Effect 3 since that had controversy, but Mass Effect 1. Fantastic game. No one talks about it now. Why would they? It's old. No one cares about anything that isn't the newest thing. That's what I hate about, like, streamer culture, gaming streamer culture, is that everyone plays exactly the same games, all the newest things, because that's what gets views, and I guess people are looking for, you know, reviews and a preview of what they might or might not buy. But it's just so soulless. It's like people aren't even playing games that they like, necessarily. And I'm just sick about the whole trend-chasing aspect of the games industry as well. The whole live service thing that's just ruining the industry, and now with AI and, of course, microtransactions. I was there when Oblivion's horse armor was the laughing stock of the internet. But we all knew. We knew that it was just a portent of things to come. Really? That's very interesting. I've played most of the Traveller's Tales LEGO games. I'm currently working on Star Wars Complete Saga right now, which I may or may not have played before. I don't think so. I think I played the originals, but not the re-release complete. Big fan of the previous Batman games, Superman game, whatever that was called. Justice League? No. Yeah? No. Anyway. Yeah, I'm definitely going to get that the new Lego Batman at some point, but I had no idea that you could only play as 6 characters. That's very surprising. I suppose that's the Bat Squad, is it? Batman, Robin, Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood? No Bat Dog? But yeah, I think people play the Lego games, if nothing else, for the representation of characters, for the licensed things, you know, finding new characters that you didn't know, or getting to play your favourite, even if it's a kind of fairly basic version of what it could be. Where the hell are these last pieces? headlights. Oh, I already did that. Shelf. Yeah, I remember that guy. That was the blockade runner level, I think. Classic standout character. Guy. Like the older one's missing so many characters that I'm surprised about, like IG-88 or whatever, you know, the robot assassin. It's really quite bare bones compared to the newer ones, at least. Rhythm Heaven. Unless we're talking about like the WarioWare type tapping rhythm games. Be surprised if that was coming to Steam. I thought that was Nintendo first party. Well, that explains it. Well, I mean, Rhythm Heaven's a 2D game, so it could probably be on the DS. Tomodachi Island looks really good. I've been trying to get Tomodachi Life for a while now, but unfortunately it's still quite expensive. I would have thought people might have been trading in their old copies for Tomodachi Island, but it seems to have actually raised interest. Where is this shelf dirty? Okay. Tyres. I assume it's going to be on the inside of the tyres, although... Track. Nice. Okay, interesting final frame. Oh boy, that looks like a long one. Mind you, this probably is longer. Don't really want to do another roof though. I think this is probably the best choice. Yeah, I mean, quality often doesn't have much of an effect on the price as long as there's a shortage of quantity. Luckily for me, the PS2, generally speaking, was putting out its games in quite high quantity, so there's only a handful that are truly rare and expensive. you can still get them for a lot of games for a couple of quid, especially all of the FIFAs and the Call of Duties. Not that you'd want to buy those, but there's some legitimate stonks you've made there. One might almost say you're keeping up with inflation. Of course, there are some PS2 games that I want that are 60 to 100 plus, or some you just can't even find anymore, like God Hand. But again, it comes down to value. I'm not going to drop that much on something just because it's rare. I'd sooner not have it. So what's the Tamagotchi corner shop about? Is it like a shop sim where you sell Tamagotchis, or do you raise a Tamagotchi in a shop? Or... Of course, I'm assuming you actually played it. Maybe you didn't. Parappa the Rapper 2, as in Jamalami? Or is there actually a Parappa the Rapper 2? I can't remember. I wonder if this is the thing you could see in the background when we were doing the dinosaurs. Oh yeah, the dinosaurs over there. That's cool. A little bit of continuity. Very strange park layout, but... Oh, interesting. Yeah, sadly it seems like all of the cool weird shit that we like now just wasn't liked back then, so... Sold badly. I really want to get a copy of Rule of Rose. That's on my bucket list. I was lucky to get a copy of Haunting Grounds, fairly cheap. A fair few years ago now. Still haven't played it, but... Ape Escape. I feel that I played Ape Escape on a PS1 demo disc. Other than that, I think I tried the Ape Escape mode on Metal Gear Solid 2. But yeah, I've not really played it properly. It's pretty fun. At one point I did actually get a PC copy of Billy Hatcher, which I've also not played. I think I would have preferred to get a console version in retrospect, but I was just trying to buy the cheapest one I could. Again, still not played it. I don't even know if I'll be able to get it to work with Windows 11. Having said that, I've not actually had any problem with compatibility with my PCs and games. Yeah, I played Simpsons Hit and Run back in the day when it came out. That is the most frustrating game possibly I've ever played. I can't remember if I finished it. I think I might have hit a brick wall and got rid of it. The real kicker is that I want to get it again and play it now. Just because it has that... Oh, it's got such a beautiful nostalgia to the way that it's made. Like the way the characters ragdoll is just so iconic. The way they just kind of roll around on the ground and, you know, bounce and flail their arms. I want to soak in that atmosphere again. It's just so specific of the time it was made in. But yeah, I think it'll make me pull my hair out. I haven't convinced myself that it's a good game or anything. It's definitely one of the games of all time. I also had the other one, Simpsons Road Rage, which was, I think, a Crazy Taxi ripoff. Didn't really like that one. But, like, actually didn't like it. Wouldn't really want to play it again. Though I do kind of want to get all the Simpsons games, just because I really love crossover games and I want to experience those 3D worlds. Speaking of which, I got the PS2 Family Guy game. It's literally just called Family Guy video game. I don't watch Family Guy. I don't even particularly find Family Guy funny. But there's something about tie-in games that just really gets me. I've also been keeping an eye on the Futurama games, which I hope to get at some point when it's affordable. Smarties Meltdown, yeah. Was that the platformer or was that the... what was it? It was either like a Bubble Bobble rip-off, no, Bust a Move rip-off, or Connect 4 rip-off. Oh god, there's the racing kart game as well with Smarties. Yeah, they really went hard with the marketing. Yeah, I know the platformer. Never played it, but yeah, I've seen it. I think that was before they had the green M&M, wasn't it? Back when it was just red and yellow? I can picture the characters, but I can't picture what colour they are. No, wait. Is it red and green and then... No. Is brown the girl? Christ, I don't know. No, wait, that's fucking M&M's. What am I talking about? This is Smarties. Smarties never had characters, did they? It was just literally Smarties with legs, right? It's got nothing on, what's it, Cool Spot, the 7-Up mascot? Before they had that cool guy dunking his can in the trash bin, recycling bin now. Oh, 90 sweets. The colourings might have had mercury in them, but at least the chocolate tasted like chocolate. These days, to me, chocolate just doesn't taste right anymore. It's got like a weird nutty taste to it that I don't really like. At least the fair trade stuff, like dairy cream is kind of dairy milk generally tastes about the same, I think, but bars like Kit Kat just taste awful now. And I don't know really what they've done to it besides the like fair trade cocoa or whatever. But I don't know why that would have that effect. Like, if that's what real chocolate tastes like, then I want to go back to the fake chocolate we had before. I expect they're just using worse ingredients or less milk, or I don't know. Yeah, I've just kind of stopped buying those ones. What are your favourite sweets? It's personally for me, if I really want a kick of chocolate / sugar, I'd probably go for a Mars bar. If I really need that hit, but you need to really need it. Generally, I really like Snickers. Big fan of peanuts. I'm also a big fan of Lion bars as well, which I don't really get that often, but yeah, they're quite nice. I wonder if Lion bars are something they have outside the UK. Just looking at it, it feels like a very kind of old British design. I also like M&M's, but they kind of also have the same chocolate taste problem. It's not quite as bad since they're so small, but if you have enough of them, they just kind of leave this burning taste in your mouth. Oh, vegetable fat, is it? So it's like filler. They're cutting the Coke with flour. Yeah, that's quite nice. No, I love gummies, but unfortunately, most of them, if not all of them, apart from very specific brands these days, still use beef gelatin. And being vegetarian, I obviously can't have that. And the vegan ones, just, I don't know, they don't hit quite the same. They're not as chewy, and they always seem to have this aftertaste. But yeah, as nice as like fancy chocolates and stuff are, I just don't really care. Like, my taste has a limit. Like, something can only be so good or so fancy before it just stops tasting any different and not worth the price. Like, a Toblerone is probably about as fancy as my taste can get. I mean, obviously I like the kind of like nice boxes of chocolate that give you, I don't know, cherry liqueurs or something, but it's like, it's fine, but whatever. I'm just as happy just having a bar of dairy milk. Yeah, Twix is a good choice. I definitely prefer Twix over Kit Kat. I have quite a penchant for cream eggs as well. Again, that's when you really want that sugar hit. I don't remember if I've ever bought from Aldi before, but I have bought from Lidl. And personally, for me, the few things that I did buy were just goddamn awful. I bought some little green tea. Foul. They did have some like German biscuits around Christmas time. Some like gingerbread, like soft gingerbread bites. Those are quite nice. But I feel like you have to be really careful with them because their stuff is the kind of stuff that would have like meat byproducts in it and not necessarily tell you, or at least not make it very clear. And you would think that like gingerbread biscuits or whatever would be fine, you wouldn't have to look, but you'd be surprised. Yeah, Marks and Spencer's is really overpriced. I would say that the quality of the food is pretty much equal to anywhere else, but it always seems to be fresher from Marks and Spencer's. Like if everyone else is the product that you end up buying and put up with, like their product is like the one that was taken, that had a photo taken of it for the marketing, you know. It always seems to look better. But yeah, it's very expensive for what it is. I definitely wouldn't want to do my weekly or monthly shop at M&S, but you know, getting lunch there once in a while is fine. But yeah, Tesco's or Sainsbury's, whichever is closer, is usually where we shop. Not for brand loyalty or anything, just because it's there's always one nearby. Yeah, they do seem to kind of have more of a healthy lean to their in-house stuff. Plus they have, well, no, I think Tesco's, not Tesco's, Sainsbury's also has vegetarian sushi sometimes, assuming it's not all off the shelf. Whenever I go to Sainsbury's, is it Tesco's? Fuck, I can never remember which my local shop is. They're exactly the same to me. Like the shelves are all mostly empty these days when I go in the afternoon. I mean, good. I don't want waste. I'd rather shops actually sold out and people made do. But if you're going there to like get a sandwich or something for lunch and there aren't any sandwiches, it kind of blows. Yeah, I've only ever bought like a sandwich or whatever from Waitrose. Again, seems kind of a little bit expensive for what it is. But I think they also kind of have some more specialty stuff. Yeah. Not as cheap as it used to be, sadly, but you can't beat the goat. Tell you what though, Boots meal deal. As long as they've got stuff on the shelf, that's probably my go-to. Surely there can't be any on the underside of this bench. I can't physically get any lower than this. How did the animation go last time? I assume you didn't finish it in one sitting. God, that's crazy. Like, on one hand, I kind of prefer being able to self-serve, do the scanning myself. On the other hand, you don't really want the store to be a ghost town, do you? You want to feel like, I don't know, you want to feel like it's an actual store and not just, I don't really know how to put it into words. Like, you want that human connection. Just the act of seeing people at work is kind of comforting. Oh, okay. Well, I hope you don't burn out doing two at the same time. I'm terrible at trying to do anything at the same time. I always end up just focusing on whatever the newest thing is, which often means I don't finish stuff. Like, ever. Oh, right. Yeah, one person to put out all the stock in an entire shop is kind of insane. I'll just say that's not really an issue at the one near me. There's like, every time I've been there, there's been like at least one or two people taking stuff out of those big cargo trolley things and putting them on shelves, to the point that it's kind of hard to get around the store quite often. Because it does entirely depend on how big the branch is and where it is. But yeah, if companies aren't going to match inflation with the income with the wage, you know, obviously people aren't even going to bother, because they don't want to work their asses off in a stressful physical job like that and get paid shit for doing it. I'm really starting to feel like I need the next upgrade for this power washer. I was feeling it for the car, having to do everything, having to do all the rust bits with the detail. I feel like the effectiveness of this is getting fairly narrow. I suppose I'm supposed to get the... yeah, I've got to get the graffiti off as well. Need to actually finish something so I can get the money for it. Though I'm not going to get $800 very quickly. And are these steps not their own thing? Damn, 12-hour days. That's hard. That's why I wasn't getting as much spread. Had the stupid nozzle extender. Yeah, medical bills are pretty crazy, even when it comes to animals. Yeah, sadly, vets kind of have you by the balls. Isn't an alternative. It's not covered by the NHS. suspect this is probably a separate part. But I'm reaching my limit for now. This would be quick and easy. Though I don't think I finished that one. Yeah. Those vets are getting all the balls. $10. Yeah, I dare say the pets have a better quality of life than we do. Yeah, it always comes back to the NHS though. The root of all evil. At least as far as funding goes. Yeah, Ardman, the concept of tea. Idris Elba. Fish and chips. Does Jacksepticeye count? And we're cooked once David Attenborough finally dies. God, now imagine if this game, if it had tracking like Viscera Cleanup Duty. Every time I walked over this stuff, I started making it dirtier again. Oof. Oh. I'm not really that exposed to Harry Hill. But like the last time I saw him, he hasn't seemed to have aged in the last 20 years. Maybe it was an old episode of something, I don't know. I think really what everyone's waiting for is the next Mr. Bean movie. I'm sure Rowan Atkinson would love that. You know, I'm not sure I ever watched the Johnny English movies. I might have watched one, like on a plane, or watched some of it on daytime TV, but I don't think I've actually properly sat down and watched it. Well, if you want something done cheaply, you go to China. It's not like they're going to make an anime Peppa Pig movie. Kind of surprised they wouldn't go to Korea, though. I think Korea is building up a reputation as being a good kind of workhorse animation studio place to go. maybe out of Peppa Pig's budget, though I guess they are probably a multi-billion-pound conglomerate by now, or whatever. Needless to say, Peppa Pig was far, far long after my time. Now, you want to tell me about a Rosie and Jim movie? Then I'll be interested. Unfortunately, yesterday I was scrolling through Facebook, which I rarely do, but I saw the news that the voice actor for Professor Utonium has sadly died. Quite young, I think, as well, relatively speaking. All Facebook seems to be these days, just a long list of people that have died, like, even if it wasn't recent, like years ago. Like they're, I don't know, emotion farming or something. How would you... I guess I can kind of see that working. Like with a literal Tamagotchi, not like a living pet, but like the actual toy. Especially in the era of nostalgia bait movies, I can definitely see someone making in the same way that we have Stranger Things, like fetishizing the 80s, soon enough we're going to have 90s the movie, and then 2000s the movie. Where you can watch kids play with Rubik's Cubes and lose their mind over the Game Boy. We keep on losing voice actors so young, it's very sad. The world will end the day Mark Hamill dies. Wasn't there a Furby movie like that, where the Furbies were like real creatures? I think it was a live action with 3D Furbies. But yeah, you should write that dream down. Maybe do something more with it in the future. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy what our subconscious does sometimes. Yeah, it's nice to have you here. Thanks for the chat. I hope you have a lovely day. Take care of yourself. I'll probably be ending soon as well. Getting a bit tired. But thank you for being here. Ooh, dream movies. I'd say I wish My Little Pony Friendship and Magic had got a better movie than it got. I'd kind of like a Small Soldiers 2, which possibly is in the works. I don't know, it's hard to say. There's so many things that could be done. Funnily enough, in terms of, I mean, I didn't dream it as a movie, but I did have quite a vivid dream once about some kind of Atlantis romance thing, which I wrote down, which could be a kind of funny concept for a movie. But yeah, I don't know, I'll have to think about that. Yeah, Gen 4 not getting a real video game, not just mobile trash, is absolutely astounding to me. Considering that Hasbro is a toy company, how badly they fumble making toys and making merch, it just astounds me. Yeah, because they're making video games for at least G3. I don't know about G2. I mean, G1 probably even got like a, I don't know, NES game. I'm not entirely sure what the timelines of those were, but absolutely insane that the most popular, not the most popular franchise there, because obviously they have Star Wars and shit, Magic the Gathering, but the most popular My Little Pony season that they've ever had, and they just don't do anything. And then they fumble the movie, they kind of screw the series. cancelling it. I mean, they never were very good at managing them with all the notes that they gave, but... And then they don't release the last 2 seasons on physical media. Absolute joke. Not to mention the quality of their toys is absolutely piss poor. And they don't release the soundtrack on physical media. Not sure if they've actually released the soundtrack digitally either. I don't think they have. Not like the score. I know they've got the Music of Ponyville digital compilation thing. I don't know if that's every single song. Musical song with lyrics. But still, I want my physical copies. Yeah, the fan scene definitely took over from the canon, and it's all we've really got now. It's been like that for a while, but still alive and well. Caring about G4 even if Hasbro doesn't. So what would be really nice is if we got a nice high budget Digimon movie. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, not even Bandai Namco or whoever owns Digimon now care about it, so good luck getting any kind of Hollywood deal on that. But yeah, I mean, G4 is primed for a spin-off, you know. We could have a entire show, entire season of stories based on secondary characters like Derpy. It's absolutely criminal that they removed Derpy's name from the show. Actually, I just heard that apparently, well, not apparently because it's already out, but there's a second set of Magic the Gathering My Little Pony cards, G4. The last one being the main 6. Actually, I don't even remember what the new ones were. I think they're main 6 as well. Or they're like event cards or something. I don't really remember how Magic the Gathering works. I think they also had some land cards at some point. But as usual, the box set goes for 50 quid, and then all the scalpers are going to buy up all the stock and then sell them per card for 200. It's absolutely criminal, the prices that the first set are going for per card. But I wasn't willing to drop 50 quid on 6 cards, and I'm definitely not willing to drop 200 on one, so just something I can live without. Yeah. You know the economy's going well when you have to get into organ harvesting just to pay rent. Come on. My Little Pony and PUBG, there's no way that Hasbro would do that. Be far more likely they'd do Fortnite before PUBG, and even then I don't think Hasbro would want their brand associated with violence. There was a PUBG crossover collaboration, I guess, with Payday 2, just possibly today, but very recently. I wonder what's going on with PUBG to get all that going, all these collabs. Yeah, that sounds good if you've got some ideas for skits that you do. You know, the oh, what's it called? It's like a double W channel. They're still doing My Little Pony cartoon skit things. It's not something that you can make any money off, but I think that there's still enough people that would watch it that it's worth doing. Especially if you can upload them as shorts, because apparently shorts are popping off. Big money farm, especially if you're pumping out AI slop, 50 a day. Yeah, you know you've made it when you get sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Well, it's still got a fair ways to go. Yep, sorry to keep you. Take care. Have a nice day. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it here for now. A little bit tired. I was kind of thinking of streaming Total Warhammer with Flow later. I don't know if I'll be able to make that with how tired I am, but if I am to do that, then I definitely need to leave now because I won't be able to power all the way through it. Yeah, pretty decent progress, I think, for somewhat, well, I say short play time. It's been 3 hours, but you know how it be. Gotta be on that grind. I say continuing to play. Yep, okay, this is it. So, thank you for watching if you did. I'll continue this again at some point. I hope this was watchable. I know this was very low energy, perhaps even for me. And I know it's going to be particularly unwatchable without any music on the VOD afterwards. But yeah, I needed to do something that was just kind of mindless, low energy, and things have been particularly bad lately, so yeah. Alright, pick this up again later, and for now I'll say goodbye. Bye bye.